Elgato has a habit of bringing out products that make things easier for creators and streamers. There's the Stream Deck that can control all sorts of things, from opening apps to changing your lighting, controlling your scenes on stream, and a ton of other features. Lighting that can be controlled from your PC, phone, or Stream Deck. Capture cards, microphones, mounts, you name it, they've probably made it. And today they've released a brand new product which could be game changing for a lot of creators and streamers out there. Welcome to the Elgato Prompter. Let's take a look. Whether you make short form videos, long form videos, or stream to a live audience, being able to talk and engage on screen whilst actually looking at the camera is a big part of keeping the audience engaged and feeling like you're talking to them directly. And the new Elgato Prompter could be the perfect solution for all kinds of creators because it allows you to do exactly that. But in typical Elgato style, this has a bunch of features that make this a great choice over some of the other products on the market. So today I'll go through and take a look at everything in detail to give you guys the lowdown on what I personally think is a very exciting release. First things first, let's open up the package and take a look at everything that you get inside. Inside the main box is this slightly smaller box, and then inside that are 3 even smaller boxes. The first one contains a braided USB-A to USB-C cable with a 90-degree connector on one end, making it easier to plug in. In the next box we have a couple of back plates for the prompter, the first one being for mounting directly to a mirrorless or DSLR camera if you use one of those in your setup, and the second is this universal shroud which can basically be used with pretty much any other camera or webcam. Then in the final box we have a bunch of these step-up rings. There are a total of 9 different lenses, each with different diameters. If you aren't aware, camera lenses have different diameters, so these step-up rings basically improve the compatibility of the prompter so it can be used with various different lenses depending on what you use in your setup. It's a very nice inclusion and certainly handy for those who use multiple different lenses in their content. Also included in the box is this plastic L bracket, which is basically used if you want to mount a webcam to it rather than using a camera. This again widens the compatibility of the prompter by allowing you to use pretty much any webcam with the device. And then of course finally the main part of the unboxing, we have the prompter itself. Now I'll go into the design and features in more detail a little bit later on, but basically if you don't know what a teleprompter does, it has a little screen with a mirror up above it which reflects that screen over towards your eyes. And this is basically one-way reflective glass, so from the front it reflects what's on the screen, but you can also then mount your camera directly behind it and it can see through and look at your face without having the words going up across the screen. And when you first take the prompter out of the box, it also has another backplate already attached, and this one is designed specifically to be used with Elgato's FaceCam Pro webcam, meaning that if you use the FaceCam Pro you won't have to use the universal shroud like you would with any other webcam. And there you go, that's everything you get included in the box, so now let's take a look at the prompter in a little bit more detail. Taking a look at the design of the prompter, aesthetically it's pretty much what you'd expect. It looks like a standard teleprompter with the screen mounted horizontally facing upwards towards the reflective glass panel which has this plastic surround behind it. In fact, basically all of this device is made from plastic, which is very handy in this case as it makes the device much lighter. And this is what allows you to mount the prompter directly onto your camera lens if you use a mirrorless or DSLR without the worry that it will either damage it or cause it to tilt downwards. There are multiple 1/4-inch thread mounting points on the device, allowing for many different mounting solutions and options to pair the prompter with other accessories. The screen has a large 9-inch display with a 1024 by 600 pixel resolution, and this can either be used as a standard script display, or because it's actually recognized as a regular display within Windows, it can even be used as a regular monitor to display any applications you want. The prompter uses a sheet of optical grade 70/30 beam splitter glass, meaning that you can see what's displayed on one side, but your camera won't see it from behind. It also has a large field of view up to a 20mm full frame equivalent focal length, which reduces the risk of vignetting around the edges of your shot when using the prompter, which would normally mean you'd have to zoom in your shot. And of course, as mentioned, the ability to use interchangeable backplates makes compatibility with different cameras, lenses and webcams much better. So now let's take a look at the various ways you can set up the prompter with different cameras. First of all, let's set this up with my mirrorless camera, which uses a Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens with a 67mm diameter. The 9 step-up rings include one that's compatible with my lens, so I can screw this onto the front of the lens. Then I can screw the back plate onto the back of the prompter itself. And finally, it's simply a case of sliding the backplate over the step-up ring, and there we go. The prompter is now mounted to my camera and I can just plug it in and away we go. And right now, you're actually watching me using my mirrorless camera, but what you can't see is that you're looking through the prompter to see me. But what I see from the other side is the script for this video. I've actually been using this for the entire video so far, and it's made recording this so much simpler, but have you been able to tell? But now say I wanted to make this video using the FaceCam Pro. Well, I can simply remove the prompter from my camera, unscrew the backplate, and then replace it with the FaceCam Pro backplate. Now, in order for me to actually use this webcam with the prompter, I'll need to connect it to the L bracket, which is simple enough to do. The bracket simply screws onto the back of the prompter, and then I can mount the FaceCam Pro on top of the L bracket. Then once that's on, I can slide it forwards until it's nice and snug and tighten it into place. Now I can mount the prompter on top of this mount, and there we go, all set up and ready to use. So again, this is a very handy way to use the prompter if you don't have a mirrorless camera set up for your content. Finally, if I want to use any other webcam or camera that isn't compatible with one of these backplates, I can set it up using the universal shroud. Again, this is simple enough to set up and just involves removing whichever backplate is already installed into the prompter and then screwing the universal shroud onto the back. Then I can mount my webcam of choice onto the bracket, in this case the Elgato FaceCam, slide it all the way forwards and then surround it with the shroud, and as simple as that, you're ready to go with any webcam of your choice. Now, setting up the software for the prompter is also very simple. When you first plug the prompter in, Windows will instantly recognize it as an extra monitor, so if you want to display any apps on here, you can just simply drag them across as you would with any other monitor. But if you want to use this in script mode, you can download the Elgato Camera Hub software, which has a brand new section especially for the prompter. Oh, and by the way, if you're using a Mac, you will need the Elgato Camera Hub software installed in order for it to recognize this as an extra monitor. And then going into the Camera Hub software, you can set up all of your scripts for your videos. You can customize things like the size of the text, the font, the size of the margin, the color, the speed at which it scrolls across the screen, and other things to tailor it to however best fits your use. And what's cool is that if you have an Elgato Stream Deck or pedal, you can actually set them up to control various things within the software, meaning you can easily do things like scroll or pause your script with just the touch of a button or your foot. You may have been thinking this is great for video creators, but why would any of this benefit a streamer? Well, another very cool feature is the fact that Elgato has included a direct integration with your Twitch chat, meaning that you can display your chat directly onto the prompter screen. So no more reading your messages and alerts whilst looking down away from your camera. Now you can read them whilst looking directly at your viewers, giving them a much better sense of immersion and inclusion. Personally, I think this is a fantastic addition for streamers to help them engage with their audience better. This also works for things like Discord calls or Zoom meetings, as the fact you can use this as an extra monitor means you can display things directly on the prompter, so when giving a presentation or chatting with people, you're looking directly at them rather than reading from a separate screen. So overall, this is definitely a game-changing device for streamers and creators of all types. The lightweight compatible design and included backplates and step-up rings allow you to use this with all kinds of webcams, cameras and lenses, all whilst being able to easily mount it directly into your setup and use with minimal hassle. The wide-angle field of view means you don't have to put up with the vignetting issue that you get from many other teleprompters, so no need to zoom in your shot. And the ability to use this as a separate monitor or connect it with the Camera Hub software means you can display video scripts, Twitch chat or presentations directly on the prompter to increase the immersion and engagement of your audiences, whether in a video like this, streams, calls or meetings. The prompter will come in at $279.99, which is more expensive than some other options out there, but with the level of compatibility and helpful software included, it's definitely a good investment to level up your content. All in all, this is a device that could greatly benefit pretty much anybody, and I can tell you this is going to get a ton of use in my setup from now on. Thank you guys very much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it and found it helpful, make sure to hit that thumbs up as it really helps the channel. And let me know down in the comments what you think of this new device. Are you going to pick one up for your content? What would you use it for? Let me know. Or simply just drop your favorite emoji to help with that engagement. If you want to see more videos like this, consider hitting that sub button and turn on those notifications. I upload weekly, so there's plenty of content for you to check out, and for even more, I also upload daily shorts and also post daily on my other socials, including TikTok, Instagram and X, which are all linked in the description below. Thank you all again. I'll see you in the next video. See you later.